Okie dokie. Back in the saddle. So we got a little creek here, passing under the grade, going into the river. Back into the trees here, you can see lots of the leaves have come down. Again, lots of jack pines. Sandy soil around the river. Hopefully the camera is trying to even out the light and dark for you here. Another telegraph pole here. This one's kind of a little on the sad side. There's one down on the ground. And here's one upright. Pole here. I think we're getting into a rock cut here. Yep, so we'll fill this in with the footage from tomorrow. Through the next rock cut we go here. You can just see it's a tiny little bit here on this side. And then it picks up right here in the middle. You can see the very telegraphed puddles, and our spike will throw that off there so that doesn't end up in somebody's tire like mine. So here you can see that the rock cut really picks up, probably 10 feet, maybe a little bit more. Again, the same thing, that very layered shale-like rock. You can see how it's all kind of fractured. Again, the blasting process probably created all of these jagged edges. You don't get all these smooth, symmetrical, you know, rock cuts like you do today with the modern blasting techniques, with the drilling and modern explosives, right? And I'm sure just because of the nature of the rock, that shale-like rock, it just all sort of splinters and fragments. So not a particularly long cut, and this is coming to the end here. So what we'll do is we will resume on the bike here. Let's hydrate here. Yesterday, on my way out, I stopped at here you can see the shoreline, you can see the bottom end of the telegraph pole there. We stopped at Ava Lake. I got the wickedest cramp. So where I get them is those muscles on the inside of your thigh, adductors, maybe, I don't know. There's another pole. Like to the point where I was in almost tears. It hurt so much. And I don't know if it was just overexertion or I was a little bit dehydrated. That was rough. So again, another little cut here, little rock cut actually. Next rock cut in line. You can see a little bit here on the west side and telegraph pole behind us there. So you can see it's just quite small here. I can't remember if it picks up or not. Too many things to remember here. So you can again see just mostly here on the west side, a little bit here on the east side. Yeah, oh yeah, picks up a bit. Again, you can see that layered appearance of the rock, the real jagged nature of the rock cut. So here probably maybe 10 feet, not quite, maybe 8 feet or so. So here it starts to peter out. Okay, so let's resume with the bike portion here. So again, yeah, it took me a few minutes to get over it, and I was writhing in pain. Another pole here. How's that for a nice big word? Writhing. Some more jack pines here, aligning the grade. Section of telegraph poles. This one's going to end up in the lake soon, or the river. I got to be careful I don't end up in the river. Gotta watch where I'm going. Okay, let's zip you ahead a bit here. Oh, hang on, got another. Is this going to be a rock cut? Let's see. Another great view of the river here. Somebody lost a tire. Yeah, we got a rock cut here. So this might be a good spot to stop. And then we'll reload going through the cut. So, rock cut number 6 on this section. I think this one is quite a bit taller in terms of the height of the cut. Again, just very interesting to see all this rock work right beside the river. And again, you can see the nature of the rock, all of that layered sort of shale-like rock. Very irregular in terms of the blasting. All right, you don't get the nice smooth sides off of it. The rock just all kind of fractures and comes apart. So probably over 10 feet here, maybe slightly more. It's hard to tell. It is kind of a very dark cut here, with the trees on the both side, with the cloud that we have today. So it continues on here, mostly on the east side. Again, you can really see the the layering in the rock and the very irregular blasting. And you can see one of these nice big depressions that forms in the rock cut, usually filled with water. Okay, so this is the end of the rock cut here, and so we will pick it up again with the bike portion. So back pedaling here, still skirting the river. Again, you can just see how wide it is. Again, a lot of it's because it's very swampy. Maybe I'll throw up a map here and show you where we are. All right, what are you barking about? Maybe when we get to tannin, we'll let her out. She's very antsy. Just relax, Loon. Big hole there. Butt hurts. I don't know if she's got a pee or something. She's not usually this whiny. Look at that view. Wow. Another cut here. Pretty high on the west side here. Got to be pushing close to 15 feet or so. Picking up here on the east side too. So here this cut starts to peter out. Okay, where are we here? Oh, my buttocks. Okay, we are approaching Tannin, which is the next station. We're moving here. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna take a snapshot here and then I'm gonna zip you ahead. Again, this morning there was lots of shadows, so then when you go to make the thumbnail for the video, you kind of get kind of crappy pictures. All right, so big embankment here over this swamp. All right, let's telegraph pole here. Let's move you along. Well, that's kind of a neat thing. So down there, I guess there's a culvert. It might be hard to see through the trees. You can actually see the segments from the concrete culvert, the segmented concrete culvert that used to be in there. There's another piece there. All right, now let's zoom you ahead. All right, so we're coming through another rock cut here, so probably fill you in with the footage from tomorrow. Nice evened out lighting, fingers crossed. Here we go again. So this is the 7th rock cut that we are going through west of Sowden Station. So again, same type of rock. You can see that it's all kind of that shale-like layered rock, maybe 8 feet, not particularly high here. Again, you can see all the fractured, irregular nature of the sides of the cut, and again, that is due to the type of rock and the very primitive blasting techniques that they would have used back then. So you can see how it's all undulating. There's pieces that are coming out. It's not like today where they can make nice, clean cuts with the drilling and the modern explosives that they have. So this is the end of the rock cut, and the grade continues this way, eventually getting to Sowden Station. So we'll resume on the bike. All right, I'm gonna zip you ahead a little bit more. The start of the siding here at Sowden is coming up very, very shortly. Okay. So let's pause here. I have a thing on my GPS says 10 in question mark, and I think, because you can see how it widens out here. So I wonder if this is the start of the siding, and when they did the road, they kind of pulled it onto the siding a little bit more than onto where the main track was.